Dr. Umar Johnson, welcome to Vlad TV.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Big fan of your work. Saw you on the Breakfast Club a few times.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're real close to Charlemagne. Charlemagne's been on the show with us for many, many years.
Okay. Okay.
So let's talk about your background. Where'd you grow up exactly?
North Philadelphia, North Central Philadelphia. Born and raised, still live there.
Okay. And what was the environment like when you were growing up?
We grew up humble. I wouldn't say poor because I think poverty is more of the spirit than it is of the economic realities in which a person lives. You know, my mother, my father, they did the best they can to raise us. They did a good job. Love them both. They still here on the earth breathing air with me. I love North Philadelphia. It's home. It's where I come from. So my roots are still there. I still hang out there. Many of my friends are still there.
Now, what was it growing up in that environment that started to really kind of mold the kind of life that you went on to live?
I would say that began to take place when I was in fourth and fifth grade. I attended a elementary school, George G. Meade Elementary, named after one of America's Civil War generals. We had a mandatory Black history class, fourth and fifth grade, which was taught by Miss Vivian Green, or Lillian Green, Miss Green, who I incidentally ran into a couple years ago. And I think it was the Black history class that really gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of motivation. Subsequent to that, I went to my first family reunion with my father in Baltimore, Maryland. I believe I was in the sixth grade, and we were walking in the backyard of a church, and there was plenty of Frederick Douglass memorabilia there. And I asked my father, why is there so much Frederick Douglass memorabilia here? And he said, because you are related to him. And it was at that family.
See, Sabius, he's a human being, bro. He had a life just like you did, man. You know?
I never said he wasn't a human. Fuck. You mean like the life I gave you, how I took you to the family reunions when you was growing up, and then I would say, hey, Frederick Douglass ain't really related to us, but I'm your father's son, and you must respect your authority.
You ain't carry this hate with Dr. Umar, bro.
So
I don't hate Umar.
do you guys agree with his what he thinks poverty is?
What, poverty's in the mind?
Yeah, like that's just fucking silly.
Yeah. Well,
If you're making 10K a year, you're in poverty. I'm sorry, pal. And if you have a great spirit, if you ain't got those zeros in your bank account, you're in fucking poverty. I don't care if you feel like you're a billionaire. That's silly.
Well, I don't think he actually gave an amount. He just said he wouldn't say poverty. He said he was humble, right?
No. But then he said, I don't believe poverty is anything to do with money. He was talking about some goofy ass Jedi bullshit about spirit.
I don't think he appreciated a white man saying that.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
This dude's a racist asshole from everything I've seen.
I mean, I do think Umar's racist. So I can't argue with Michael.
He said this guy's a racist asshole.
That's coming from a white guy.
Yeah, I don't think that he liked that Vlad said that. I think he may have. I don't know what's in the brother brain, but I think he feel like, motherfucker, you can't say that to me. What make you think I was in poverty, motherfucker?
Because Vlad's a white dude, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of. He's Jewish.
Say, right? Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Okay. So yeah, I can see now why old Umar is angry.
Yeah, I don't think he really appreciated it. I mean, look at his shirt. Like, last thing he wanted some white guy telling him how he was living.
I feel like this is the kind of guy I'd walk up to in a bar and be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He'd be like, "How dare you say hi to me?"
No, what he would most likely say is, "How you doing? What do you mean? What's up? You want me to give you 5 on the black hand side, all that jive?"
Hold on. Now maybe I missed it, but did Vlad actually say you grew up in poverty, or did he just ask?
Did.
Okay. He
had your background. Where'd you grow up exactly?
North Philadelphia, North Central Philadelphia. Born and raised, still live there.
Okay. And what was the environment like when you were growing up?
We grew up humble. I wouldn't say poor because I think poverty is more of the spirit than it is
Oh,
of the
that's a lie. He
economic
didn't ask.
realities in which a person lives. You know, my mother, my father, they did the best they can to raise us. They did a good job. Love them both. They still here on the earth, breathing air with me. I love North Philadelphia. It's home. It's where I come from. So my roots are still there. I still hang out there. Many of my
I do
friends
have
are
a
still
question
there.
for Omar though.
Umar.
Yeah, Omar. Okay, sure. My bad. So you grew up in North Philadelphia, but is anybody hearing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song when he says that?
Every time he said, every time he said it, I did. I didn't want to say nothing,
On the
but
playground, did you spend most of your
most of his
days?
days, yeah, I heard it. He take pride in Will Smith being from Philly. Yeah, as he should.
I got some family from Philly, and they
You
take a lot
do,
of
and they
pride.
cool as
Yeah, they
fuck.
take a lot of pride that they're from
I
Philly,
like
and
your
so
family
I've
from
never
Philly.
knocked them for that. Hey, I've never really been to Philly like that, so I can't say. But hey, I'm gonna. They family, they like it.
I,
But Vlad didn't actually say poverty, so this was all Umar's, I guess, opinion on poverty. So I mean, like, why did he say that
I
when
knew that
Vlad
was
didn't even
coming. That's
ask
why I
him that shit?
started laughing.
like, just look at his face. Like, I have
Oh
nothing.
shit.
I'm gonna let him go through this video before I make a solid opinion. But he just has that face of like, you know, that meme with the girl who's like, "How dare you?"
Oh yeah, Greta
That's this
Thunberg.
dude right there. Look at that face. That's a Karen face.
I
I
love that
mean,
meme.
Vlad only asked him what was your environment, and then he went in and was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't say poverty. I'm just saying
But again, and
that."
I hate to, you know, uh re redirect my answer just to fit my narrative, but I do feel like he said that, like, yeah, I'm sure you thought I was raised in poverty, but I wasn't. That's a state of my, like, it's some kind of defensiveness there, in my opinion. You know,
I get what you're saying, but just because someone asks you what your environment is, I didn't detect a tone of or superiority or anything. He just actually tell me
I
about
didn't either. I didn't either. I just, see, so I've been keeping up with Vlad since the very beginning of his career. And when I understand the energy right now. This was Dr. Umar first time sitting with him. And by the time Umar made it to Vlad, Vlad had already been called the culture vulture. Vlad said he's done. He's literally said, I'm done with that, all of that Pan-Africanist bullshit. I'm done with it. He said that in an interview. He said everybody that he's put on his platform and try to help, he's got into it with. He's got into it with Dr. Umar. He's got into it with Lord Jamar. He's got into it with Tariq Nasheed. Like, he had, and I can't blame him whether he's right or wrong, because I swear to God, it seemed like every time Vlad brings somebody from an African movement on his platform, he's into it with them as soon as he uploads the video, because they don't like something that he kept in. They don't like the way he's projecting them. They don't like the title of the video. It's always something. And that's what I meant when I said in our last part about war. Like, if some of my people feel like they're at war, it's like, bro, are y'all gonna complain about every fucking thing? Like, this man putting you on a big platform, and y'all next move is to get into it with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
well, okay, I hear what you're saying. I will say, just disclaimer, I am not a fan of Vlad. I do believe Vlad is a culture vulture for other reasons.
Mhm.
Lord Jamar would probably be one of the things that I remember discussing with Godfrey on the Godfrey podcast and stuff. So I do think Vlad is a culture vulture. However, like I said a few minutes ago or seconds, I just from this interaction with Umar, I didn't detect anything of hostility or superiority. So I do think Umar is, like you said, kind of
Defensive.
complaining about everything. Defensive, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Vlad's tight.
I was about to say, I don't think Vlad's a culture vulture.
I don't know about that, but I think he has some really worthwhile interviews on his channel that are really pretty well put together and worth watching.
Yeah. Now he has asked some distasteful questions before, but one thing that I noticed is like if like 2020 if somebody was to ask the same questions, people wouldn't complain. Like everybody original complaint about Vlad was, oh yeah, he's the feds and he gets black guys to go on their platform and incriminate themselves. It's like, man, speak for y'all fucking self. If you get your dumb ass up there and talk about how many murders you did, fuck you. Like don't he like I don't expect him to hold my hand and think for me like I'm some fucking incompetent ass creature that like, oh Vlad, please tell me when I'm talking about something illegal. Like, what the fuck? You getting up there because you worried about being robbed as a rapper, and you want to get up there like motherfuckers know what it is. Look how many bodies behind me and my squad. Like, okay, then the feds get on your ass and then use that interview as evidence. You like, oh, they use Vlad footage. He the feds. Like, I was like, bro, these motherfuckers
I agree
crazy.
with you on that. Curtis need to say something before he fall asleep.
I'm falling asleep.
No, he ain't falling asleep.
So
Yeah, man. And that's probably why I meet that that title with resistance with people calling Vlad a culture vulture because that it started with Dame Dash saying that he was a culture vulture. Him and what's his name, Leo Corin. I kind of feel like he a culture vulture for sure, but he lumped Vlad in, and he was mad about something too, like a title or something that Vlad put up. Like, I don't know, a lot of these dudes be prima donna bitches to me, man, for real. Vlad did have done some things that I don't agree with, like with Godfrey. I'm gonna use Godfrey, not Lord Jamar, because I didn't like the way even though Lord Jamar was right for the Farrakhan situation, like as far as like wanting Vlad to
apologize.
apologize.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he did it. Like he did to me like that typical shit that I don't like what black guys do. Like I like they talk to a white guy like he not a man, and then they expect a good outcome out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like Vlad's supposed to be your friend, and then, when that shit happened, he was white boy this, white boy that. And I told him he got to apologize. Like, bro, he a man. He not a fucking kid. You can't. And I think that's why Vlad met them with so much resistance. Like, I ain't doing shit. Now that you said it like that, and I respected it. Not because I like Vlad, anything like that. I respected it as just a man, no matter the color. Like, nigga, don't talk to me like that and tell me what the fuck I got to do. And then before I can even respond, tell me you're gonna take our friendship off the table, say that shit publicly and diss me. And no, now I'm not apologizing for shit now. Fuck y'all. Fuck the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? They fucked that up. But I say Godfrey because Godfrey handled it with more tact. So it's just like me saying something to offend y'all, right? You got Mr. Fife saying, I'm just looking for an apology. You got Kira that's saying, as long as he apologizes, cool. But then you got Sabia saying, well, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him if he don't apologize. Now I'm like, I'm not apologizing for shit. And then, it makes me look like an asshole because I probably was wrong. But the way you responded made me give resistance to it. So now all of y'all just stop fucking with me. That's what happened with Vlad and Jamar and Godfrey.
Well, maybe you're right. Like I was looking at it from more Godfrey perspective because I actually watch Godfrey's podcast. I don't watch Jamar's podcast. I've seen a few here and there, but I
Yeah.
don't watch them as frequently as I watch Godfrey's. So I'm taking it from perspective from what
Godfrey cool as hell.
Yeah.
Vlad, if I was Vlad, I'd have said Godfrey as a friend, in the relationship we got, I'll apologize to you, but fuck Jamar. Like the way he's coming at me. Like he was Jamar, and I fuck with Jamar. But I'm looking at it as just being a human. I'm like, man, the way Jamar coming, it's like he's sunning Vlad and challenging his manhood, which is making Vlad put up resistance. And then Godfrey, like, man, I'm your boy, man. You did something bogus, man. You see it's hurting me. You ain't gonna apologize. If Vlad just like, nah, fuck that. You over there riding with him. He over here talking all of this crazy shit about me. Fuck that. And I kind of felt them. Like I probably would have handled the same way, but I'm man enough to compartmentalize shit too. I just would have been like, fuck Jamar, I apologize to you. But I'm not gonna even acknowledge his shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah. So I'll play the rest.
Now, what was it growing up in that environment that started to really kind of mold the kind of life that you went on to live?
I would say that began to take place when I was in 4th and 5th grade. I attended a elementary school, George G. Meade Elementary, named after one of America's Civil War generals. We had a mandatory Black history class, 4th and 5th grade, which was taught by Miss Vivian Green, or Lillian Green, Miss Green, who I incidentally ran into a couple years ago. And I think it was the Black history class that really gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of motivation. Subsequent to that, I went to my first family reunion with my father in Baltimore, Maryland. I believe I was in the 6th grade, and we were walking in the backyard of a church, and there was plenty of Frederick Douglass memorabilia there. And I asked my father, why is there so much Frederick Douglass memorabilia here? And he said, because you are related to him. And it was at that family reunion, the Bailey family, that's when I learned I was related to Frederick Douglass. So I think the 4th and 5th grade Black history class with the 6th grade encounter of realizing I was related to arguably the greatest Black leader in American history, I think that kind of set me on my purpose, and it was solidified after I graduated from Millersville University, became a school psychologist back in the year 2000, and found how special education and ADHD were being used as weapons of mass destruction against African American boys. And so the purpose found its rooting in advocating for our children within the miseducation machine.
Mm-hmm. Now you got your doctorate?
Yes, sir. From the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, July of 2012, American Psychological Association approved program. I would add a disclaimer to that. As you've probably seen in the world of social media, some of the brothers and sisters in my community have created or falsified claims that I did not have a doctorate. Part of that stems from the fact that I never advertised the schools that I graduated from. Obviously, when I speak at universities, they have to vet my background, so I have to provide that information to them. The reason I never advertised the universities is I know that many of them would take issue with what I stand for, what I'm working towards, and my opinions on things. So if I ran around saying I went to PCOM, if I ran around saying I attended Millersville University, if I ran around saying I have a master's in educational leadership from Lehigh University in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, some people might draw the erroneous conclusion that they support my work. And so out of respect for those institutions, I don't go around with a banner with their names on it, because I feel that who I am and my reputation and background is sufficient to support the premises that I stand on.
Now, how many years did you end up going to school?
5 years of undergrad, Millersville University, double majored, psychology and political science. I actually put teeth into the creation of that school a couple of years ago. We're interested in will not get as much attention as an underachieving African-American male athlete who may be failing 3 or 4 subjects in school, but because he has a great jump shot or he can catch a football, he gets celebrated more than the academic achiever. So I think we, as the African-American community, have to look at that, but we also have to realize that America has a history of undervaluing the intellectual achievements of African-American people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, you're actually trying to own your own school or buy your own school? Like, explain that to me.
The Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy is a school that I conceived of a very long time ago, but began to actually put teeth into the creation of that school a couple of years ago. We're interested in acquiring the St. Paul's College, Lawrenceville, Virginia. It's an HBCU, closed down about 3 years ago, and has just been sitting there unoccupied for 3 years. There's a $2 million price tag on that property. We've raised $700,000 over the past year and a half to try to acquire that property. However, although St. Paul's is still very much an interest of mine, I'm beginning to change my sights and start looking at other schools, because having sat for 3 years, obviously the quality of the upkeep is a concern. I had someone go and do an inspection on the school, a realtor who told me I would need to put at least $1 million into the property after I purchase it. So it's not looking as bright as an option as it used to. Still want it. If they called me today and said, listen, bring us that 700,000 and we'll work with you, I'm on my way. Make no mistake about it. But because they're not offering to work with me, I have to start exploring other opportunities, such as starting with a regular community school, 300 to 500 students, and then evolving into the residential academy that I want. But my concept is residential academy.
Hey Sabius, did you see him on Lord's Jamar channel?
Nah.
Oh my God, never mind. That shit was cringy as hell. The reason why I paused and asked is because that's what Lord Jamar was saying to him when he was on his platform. And man, Umar just snapped at his ass. Like it got
About the school that's been working on for years and still haven't done anything.
Well, he told him, man, you could open up something small, and then, like, if I remember right, Umar was like, "That's what I'm talking about." Black people always talking about, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that." You know, y'all go out and buy $2 billion of Jordans every year and $4 billion in weed, but do you want me to downgrade everything and la 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 la? And he was just like, "I'm not gonna lie, I've been fucking with Umar for a long time. I actually met him, but man, that was the first time when he was on Lord Jamar shit. I was like if I was part of his juror, that wouldn't have been good for me to see that. I was like, I saw the fangs come out his ass. I'm like, oh my God, he's so ugly right now. Like he
Reminds
just
me of a Bleach episode when the
man, it was cringy as fuck. Like I was like, wow, like he bit his head off. He bit Jamar head off for even insinuating stars small and shit like that. And
He
it's
was not pushing P.
he was not pushing
not
P at
pushing
all.
positivity. Nope.
Not at all.
It was not truly humble under God either.
Man, they I'm surprised you didn't see that. That was let me see. Let me see if I can find that clip right quick. Hold on.
I'm wrong about them.
Go ahead.
Yeah.